Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and enemies, welcome to the LUCCI podcast, where our motto is systems over hype, real tools for building a self-made life. LUCCI is slang for money, but here, LUCCI is not a trend, it's not a vibe, and it's not a lifestyle aesthetic. LUCCI is a blueprint for people that want discipline without the drama, wisdom without the fluff, and strategy without the corporate suit. It's for builders, it's for thinkers, it's for doers. It's for anyone who's ready to run their life with the same clarity that they run their business. Now, LUCCI is L-U-C-C-I. That's L-U-C-C-I. And it's about creating a life based on leverage, utility, clarity, control, impact. That's the heart of this entire platform. Now again, LUCCI stands for leverage, utility, clarity, control, impact. But before I break each one of those down, let me tell you the truth about how I got to the name LUCCI. You know, growing up, I was a big fan of hip hop music. And one of my favorite albums is Heist of the Century by La the Dark Man. If you are a hip hop head and you haven't heard that album, definitely go back and listen to that. It was made in the late 90s, so it's old by today's standards, right? But if you are a hip hop head and a hip hop historian, you know, and you love listening to music of all eras, definitely go back and give that album a listen. I think it was highly slept on. But nonetheless, his album was called Heist of the Century. And this is not about the album, but one of the first song actually that was on that album was called LUCCI. One of the reasons I love the song, it actually opened up with a clip from one of my favorite martial arts films, The Five Deadly Venoms. And the clip opens up with a snippet of one of the characters from The Five Deadly Venoms basically talking about how he came from a wealthy family, but in his pursuit to continue to get money, he ended up doing a lot of illegal things. And those things compromised his character. And you could tell it was taking a toll on his psyche. So the song LUCCI, which is the first song on the album, and again, it opens up with that martial arts clip from Five Deadly Venoms and it rolls into the music. The song LUCCI carries that same energy, right? And the song basically is about how he's willing to do anything to make money, right? If he has to, if it's illegal, whatever it is, he's willing to do whatever it is to get that LUCCI, to make that money. And I totally understood the vibe and the energy behind that song because I grew up around that same energy. You can really appreciate that hunger, that mentality of doing whatever it takes to be successful, right? But in the song in particular, he's talking about doing whatever it takes to make money. And as a kid, that song stuck with me, and it still sticks with me to this day because it showed me how far people are willing to go to get money. People are willing to twist themselves in knots, compromise their integrity, compromise their safety or the safety of others in order to make money. And that always stayed with me, right? That message always stayed with me. So years later, I was thinking, what if I totally flipped that meaning? Flip the meaning of LUCCI. What if LUCCI was redefined and wasn't about chasing money at all, but instead was actually about chasing the qualities that actually make you wealthy in real life? Not the paper, but the principles. So that's why I turned LUCCI into an acronym, because I wanted the name to represent real value. Not the kind that makes you compromise, but the kind that makes you grow. You know, I spent years operating behind the scenes. At work, at my job, I'm responsible for moving complex projects forward. It's structured, it's disciplined, it's necessary. But outside of work, I carry that same energy, but in a way less visible manner. So LUCCI, this podcast, is also my way of stepping out of the box. It's me claiming the space that I've earned, and it's here to help you do the same. This is not, I repeat, this is not a motivational podcast. This is a systems podcast. This is a clarity podcast. This is a Get Your Life Aligned podcast. This podcast is for high performers that want more purpose behind their work. People balancing their careers and creative ambitions. Builders who think in frameworks. This is for parents raising kids while raising their own standards. This is for entrepreneurs that don't want chaos. And this is for people who feel like they've been playing it too small and too safe. If that's you, you're in the right place. So here's what you can expect from these episodes. These episodes will be sharp, actionable, strategic, and based on real psychology, real systems, real lived experience. And every episode is going to hit at least one of the main LUCCI pillars. One of them is systems over hustle, strategic wealth, execution culture, and legacy moves. And everything you hear is designed to help you live a life that operates with more peace, more purpose, more clarity. So welcome. This is LUCCI, LUCCI. That's leverage, utility, clarity, control, impact. Systems over hype. And remember, a self-made life is built. Let's get to work. Listen, that's it for now, but the work does not stop here. If this gave you something to think about, like, subscribe, and share it with somebody who's building. Follow LUCCI at LUCCI Systems on Instagram, YouTube, and wherever you're listening, so you don't miss the next move. Until next time, remember, execution is the name of the game.